No one can tell us what to do. It's really nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too.
Oh my goodness, who are you?
I don't have a name yet.
You have lots of personalities.
I have lots of personality.
It's perfect for that camera shot.
Isn't it? We are on the air.
We're so glad to see you.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you for making the journey to the island.
We're on the air.
Hello, Kelly. We'll put you on in a second.
I'm going to start with the land acknowledgement.
Land acknowledgement. Wait. Hold on. Ready? Oh, I can do it this way. Ready? There's us.
The Creator gifted us with this land that we are blessed to share and care for together. We acknowledge that the land we gather on Wakinstas is the ancestral territory of the Siksika Sitapi, the Siksika, the Kaina, the Piikani, and the Amskapi Piikani. We acknowledge all First Nations and Métis of Treaty 7 lands, the Sutena, the Ithkabi, which includes Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Goodstone. We commit to advancing reconciliation, guided by truths, respecting treaty laws, and humbly walking alongside First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. We recognize all who live, work, and play on these lands, and also who make art on these lands and who now call this place home. We are so grateful that you're able to make it to the Isle of Roux with us. We made the journey. For some people, it's a longer journey than for other people. This lovely adventure of imagination. This week, we are thinking about the letter F. So we're hopefully going to see Felix online. F's for Felix. We have Kelly joining from her studio. Hi, Kelly.
Terror bears.
Cute. Oh, I love that coming out the mirror. Love it. The things that nightmares are made of. Very good.
Comments. Oh, there's no comments yet.
Yeah.
For God's sake, somebody send us a comment.
Oh,
it's
Theo.
Ray.
Hello. Zach Abbott. Hello.
I think that's it. We'll just see. Is that it?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
It just doesn't. Here, I can do like this.
No, I'll do it.
Invite. It might look, but it doesn't look like a link. That looks good.
Okay.
Fun. How was your week, Rich Teru?
It was a week.
So it was a week.
Zach, are you logging on with us? Logging on with us.
Robot head. That is so nice.
It's the Isle of Roux, number 8.
Number 8. Holy macaroni.
Macaroni. And we're on air.
And it is, we're talking about the letter F this week. So we're thinking about...
That's from Felix.
Yeah, Felix. We're thinking about foreshortening in our artwork. I am thinking about the 3 fates.
Video call, Felix Teru.
Theo's here. Hi, Theo.
Yay!
Nice to see you. Hi, Amanda. Wonderful. So, look, we got mail from Theo and from Mom. So we're going to be opening mail.
Hey, bud, we're going to open the mail soon.
Whenever he's on.
They coming on? Okay, yeah, bye. We'll wait for Felix.
So Zach is painting in the studio, and the link is there. So if you want to join us with your camera, or you can just join us and paint and send us pictures, that's fun too. We have Theo joining from his studio, Kelly joining from her studio. We're so grateful to see you guys, and we're so grateful to make art together. Felix is going to join us, and then we're going to open the mail. And then I wanted to say to everybody, I'm so used to every single week having to make sure the sales are done. Hi!
Hey!
How are you?
Hello.
Turn your device to a landscape format.
Oh. How do you want me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, just like that.
All right.
Fun. How's your art making been going?
Oh, not good. Not good. I've been working lots.
Oh,
That's okay.
Not that it's not good. I love to paint. Oh, I love to paint. I've got the studio. I've got lots of paintings
nice.
going. I'm doing the damn thing.
That's
Not
good.
as much as I'd like to.
I know. That's what you meant.
Yeah.
But it's nice you could join us tonight. That's so good.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
That is fun. Oh yeah, I ended up like messaging some people this week because I'm so used to making sure everyone gets their artwork
Oh.
and that I'm like totaling up and that kind of thing, but I don't have to total up anymore. So I wanted to
Totally.
like acknowledge the awesomeness of the calmness that this is. Like people are sending us mail, and then that's how we get the mail addresses for the return addresses, and then we can send the mail out from there. So it's like a really nice gift that I don't need to worry about like stressing all the time. And I want to apologize if I stressed anyone else out this week.
Felix, can you turn your camera to the side?
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
What does doing that actually do?
There we go. That's the stuff.
It goes landscape in a landscape screen rather than vertical in a landscape screen.
Ah, sorry.
Okay.
It was better before. There we go. Perfect. What's happening? But you gotta, Felix, we gotta see your face or your art. We can't see the ceiling tile the whole night, okay?
Okay.
Like it's pretty sweet ceiling, but
Either one's good. Face or the ceiling tile. This is our first envelope or envelope. Ooh, should we show the video before
sure.
or
And then we can
after?
before, and then we can open.
Before.
Events. Video file.
Look at me.
Look at me. You are so good.
Look at my spine.
F is for Felix.
Let's start the letter. We'll do the letter this week. Ready?
Yeah.
Ready? Yeah, give her. So exciting. What do you think? F or E? F. Freya.
This week, we're thinking about the letter F. We're thinking about Felix, and we're thinking about the three fates and freedom. And then in art history, the idea of the form and the figure, foreshortening, maybe the fauves, some futurists. There's lots to think about with the F.
Fuse iced tea.
Oh, fiber art.
Falling.
That is so good.
That was like a really bad kick.
No, are you kidding? You are ferocious.
For real.
For real.
Yesterday I punched a green board open that was the same strength as a real wooden board with one punch.
No way.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Took me like 16 tries though, so
That's okay. You did it. That's
Are you sure it wasn't 15 tries?
Hmm?
Pretty fierce.
15.
15. Maybe you could do it in 4 tries next time.
He's choosing F words. 15. 4. I see what you're doing. It's good.
Thank you.
I can usually do it in 3 tries, but that's like without one punch, just 3 punches. So
Boop, boop, boop.
Do you want to show the male video too?
Oh yeah, the male video.
though it is wearing like gloves, so it's not the same.
Can we call it the post?
Post office video.
The Federal Express.
Yeah. Pony. It's always crazy eyes.
I see crazy eyes of blue.
Sky is white.
What a good kid.
Drinking water. Drawing something.
We were responding to a few letters, and then we're going to respond to more letters this week. So this is
Trying to draw something. I'm not very good at drawing.
you are very
Like that specific thing that I was trying to draw. The little bit sad that it gets warmer.
I know my squirrel voice.
So 100%. Remember, I had 2 copies of that. The other one had music in it.
Yeah.
I apologize for that.
No, that was super funny.
More fun.
I'm starting to take the tape. My mom has Santa Claus.
Okay, let's get that under here, and we'll put this on the big screen. All right. Right. So. Da, 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 da. Stripping it down, eh? Do we have a paper? Oh, what do you think of this, Felix? F is for Felix.
Yay.
You don't mind us
F
using?
is for
A lot of words.
I used a few of them.
Phew.
F is for like ferociously stabby.
This one is from D. Zabel. Oh, there's a piece here. Do you want to read it? Oh, look at. Okay, and then there you go. What? What is it?
Rocket Raccoon's arm.
Rocket Raccoon checked into the room, only to find
We have all of these Lego characters, and Rocket Raccoon lost his left arm,
All right.
and Mom found it.
Here's the story behind that. You wanna
Thanks,
read it?
Mom. Jesse, Rich, and Felix. So great to receive your letter with all your kind words. I appreciate you including me in all your adventures, no matter where they take you.
No matter how weird we get.
You keep me young. Awesome Viking, a kindred spirit, because Rich sent her the Viking painting.
Yeah.
And more treasures from you. Felix, I'm not sure about what my favorite color is, but I think red is at the top. Like candy apple red. Candy apples. Love always. Mom, Mama, Mima. Jason found this Lego arm on the floor. With ha 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 and smiley faces.
Can you get the car keys?
Car keys.
This would settle my mind.
Yes. What are all those magic things?
Well, let's just look. Apparently, there's a card that says itty bitty greetings, and it's got a funny little guy. Then I've got that upside down. Funny little guy. And this is actually a family trait. We all climb walls like this. And it says, some days are tougher to hang in there than others.
Are those cards that we can send to people?
Perhaps.
Mom, that's cute.
Oh, yeah.
Because she didn't write in them, so I'm guessing that maybe they're cards to send to other people.
Rocket Raccoon checked into his room. There we go.
Oh,
How's that song go? You can make me whole again. Sing it.
I don't know that one.
I know you do. It's happy. Yeah, and then a moon one. In this whole universe, I could never find another kid as special as you. Thanks, Mom.
So now we have a good arsenal of stuff to send out to people too. Little happy cards. Right?
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm right, Mom.
I think you're right.
Okay.
Stress, sit down, take a deep breath. Take your hands off your boss's throat.
We're pretty lucky. We have
I'll
pretty
have
good
this one.
bosses.
I think I'll have this
Yeah.
one. A kid got in trouble the other day, and they had to move him. And I got an email about moving this kid who has the same name as me, same first name. And but it was just like talking about like moving a schedule, and then I was like, "Are we talking about me here?" Like,
But you
okay,
know,
so we actually have. Can you grab the red binder? Is it
Guys, I'm gonna like go off this and be back on in a few minutes. I gotta
Can
do
you hang in for one more minute? There's another letter, but
Okay.
that was the first letter. This is our letter container. We put all the letters in here, and then this one. Where are you going, Felix?
What?
Where are you gonna go?
I'm just gonna go upstairs for a minute. I'll be right back.
Look, Theo has a stamp of his own face. You see
Wow.
that over there? I do have this anxiety about sticking a knife, like the whole letter right there. Because what if I cut something special?
that's fair. Careful with your-
With my hand?
Yeah.
My foreskin?
Oh, ow!
I'm not going to go down that path.
I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
Oh, Theo, are you kidding me?
You got a whole book.
A whole zine. Should have
From
saved.
other artists.
Should have
Look.
saved this till we got to the letter Z.
Funny.
Right, then we'll dedicate.
Poetry for fun. Yes. Everything to us.
I think we will dedicate an episode to this. Maybe in an hour or so we'll pull this out again and go through in great detail. Yes?
That is so cool.
That is so cool. We're gonna up our art mail game.
Okay, I'm gonna be back in like 5 minutes.
I hear the Flintstones.
It's probably my voice. I'm
No.
obnoxious.
Okay. I'm obnoxious.
I'm gonna start painting. I'm so inspired.
Let's watch another video.
Okay.
We'll get all the videos done quickly tonight. Okay, so this is a big deal.
Men is also worried about
Felix's grandpa has joined us. He's a new character. And here he is. Here's our new puppet. His name's Winston.
Last night, I dreamt I was a firefighter. Brave, heroic, sliding down poles, the whole deal.
Wow.
Then I woke up and realized I'd left the toaster on.
Well, that's not safe.
And then it got worse.
Really?
Much, much worse.
Oh no.
The next thing I knew, I was in a forest. Not just any forest, a weird one. Leaves rustling, trees swaying, whoop! And suddenly, an alphabet storm started.
Really?
And then, bam! A giant letter F fell on me.
Oh no. That's messed up.
That's when I knew I was really effed. At least it wasn't the letter P. Can you imagine an alphabet storm raining P?
Oh no. Oh gosh, that's not right.
That's what I said.
It's just so strange that we do this. It's funny on the weekend, and then as soon as I see it online, I'm like, I can't believe I did that. Why would I do that? That's so weird. I'm muted over here. I'm not muted over here. Can I just assume people can hear me? Yeah. Oh, Steve. Does not look dangerous the way you're using the knife.
It does.
No, LOL. Does look? Oh, it does, maybe. In the studio. I was just wiping my nose, by the way. I wasn't picking. So those were pretty two exciting messages to get in the mail. I thought was pretty wonderful.
That was very exciting.
Felix has to do Duolingo.
That's really funny. Or he'll lose his streak. Early Japanese on Duolingo.
Duolingo. What language is he learning? French?
Chinese.
Japanese.
No, Japanese.
No, he's not learning Filipino. Oh, wait, that's a P. Oh, wait.
No, actually, I think Filipino.
Finnish? Is he learning Finnish?
But the Filipino is which one's F? And yeah, Filipino's F, and the Philippines is a P.
Oh, got it. Nailed it. Nice. Did. I got it.
Strange combination of things. I'm gonna send your mama a link in case she wants to come on.
Keeping it friendly. He's learning Japanese.
Yeah.
Konbanwa. Felix-san.
Richard Cox hasn't joined us.
Genki desu ka?
You have to test him when he's back.
I was learning Japanese and then booked a flight to Mexico, and now I'm pronouncing all my Japanese in a Spanish accent.
You're trying. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Sayonara is not Spanish.
Oh no.
Say it ain't so. Okay, here's my new discovery. Can you show me that painting over there?
Oh yeah.
So Jess and I listen to a lot of jazz, and then a lot of times when we're listening to, just pass me the file. Can you pass me that? Or just don't.
There.
Yeah,
I got
thanks.
you.
Appreciate it.
We got a great stack of art
Yeah,
to send
Rich
out.
has too much time on his hands. Here we go. So, we're watching a documentary about the Newport Jazz Festival, and then a guy comes on and he starts announcing, and he's got the same voice that talks about, here's Louis Armstrong, here's Miss Nina Simone. And we hear the same voice, this guy, all the time. He's just this voice of jazz that we'd heard, but we didn't even know his name. I was like, who the hell is that? And since it was a movie, it was easy enough to go back and see that the narrator was named Willis Conover. Yeah. And so Willis Conover was the voice of jazz on
VOA.
VOA.
The Voice of America.
The Voice of America, which was a psyop. And so what happened was the American government in the early 1900s started a radio station with jazz and earnest broadcasting and arts to irritate and provoke the Germans, and then later the Russians, and at some point the Vietnamese. And so when they were at war, the whole idea was to try and get defectors to come to America because they had good jazz and honest radio. And the VOA was so like honest and earnest that that they didn't even really like get people in America didn't know about it, right?
Yeah,
Because it was broadcast behind the Iron Curtain. But all the people, not all the people, apparently a lot of the people that defected to North America did because they were inspired by the VOA. And so he had this radio broadcast for like 40 years. And he must have known some people because they'd have him on for those jazz events.
He was the announcer for a lot of the Newport Jazz Festivals.
Yeah.
And
So, but his voice is so ingrained in my head. I've been listening to his voice since I was
on
a
all
kid.
of our albums.
And then I just discovered his face, and I painted it with Voice of America.
Yeah.
And actually, on our mic, I'm going to build a Voice of America. Well, maybe the voice of the Isle of Roux or something like that.
Yeah, and we were listening to like about him, and the idea of like this rock solid integrity.
Yeah.
And sharing not only good stories from the States, but like problems that they're having also, and how to solve them. So like
in contrast to what's happening right
democracy and how to maintain democracy.
Yeah.
Again, in contrast to.
Okay. Form. Figure. Flow. Focal point. Foreshortening.
Hi, Mom. Mom's with us. Thank you for the beautiful letters and all the cards. If you didn't see us opening your letter,
Is it too soon for my foreshortening video?
I think if you can.
Let's just get to it. Here we go. Where is it? Was this one? So here's the interesting thing. We let the letter dictate what we're going to focus on this week.
Focus.
And then I'm actually letting that intrude on my teaching where hold on.
Very nice.
I'm letting the
focal point.
Yeah. I'm letting my classes be dictated by the letter F this week.
That is so good.
Which is just weird, but kind of effective, kind of a neat way to sort of structure my classes. Just to keep things fresh.
Fresh. I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah, no, it's foolish. I mean, not foolish. It's wonderful.
Foolish.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. I've lost my. How do I get to my other one?
I really like that, Zach. If you were standing in the middle of the mountains and you used one of those, like, what is that? Like the camera,
Yeah.
like
Hey,
panoramic.
hey, Zach.
camera?
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered what I look like when I'm teaching at school?
I do now.
Well, here we go. Okay, class. Today we're doing foreshortening and focus. So big up front, small in the back, sharp up front, fuzzy in the distance.
Big up front. Fuzzy in the back.
Oh boy.
Gosh, as soon as I start talking, you guys all seem so distant.
I'm paying attention. Look, back here. I'm right up there. Big, sharp, in focus.
Okay. I hope next week we land on B for boundaries. Yes, big up front, small in the distance.
If I get too far back, do I become irrelevant?
Never. You are what give us a sense of depth.
That could never happen.
I could never forget you, Goat. Now what was I saying? Oh yeah, every time I talk, you all seem so distant.
Oh boy.
Mr. Rich, did you take attendance?
Oh no, I guess I didn't. Must have slipped my mind. Okay, let's take attendance. Okay, Sonny.
I'm here.
Like, okay, yeah. Winston.
Present.
Goat. Goat. That's strange. That's weird. Not a very big class today.
Can I sign up for courses?
Oh, have you seen any of our space movies, Zach?
A few of them, yeah.
I got a humdinger for you later.
Okay.
It's a humdinger.
Okay. Nice.
Hi.
Are they getting easier?
Yeah.
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 No, at first there was a lot of shouting. Not like shouting, but like
The script, but I got an idea.
what did he say?
Don't add on to the script, but I got it right.
Oh, that's really cute. Yeah. So Felix, I'll be like, maybe he's playing video games or something, and I want to get him activated. I go, hey, why don't you go write some scripts? He's like, I don't want to write scripts. And then as soon as we start shooting, and I've got this vision, I'm holding like 1,000 ideas in my head. Really, I'm doing all the editing in my head before we even start. And he starts inventing like new problems for me during the production. Do 2 T's?
Yeah, there's another.
If it's more, remind me. Okay. All right, Felix, these are the words I'm working on. Foreshortening.
What?
Is that where the echo's coming from? Okay, Felix, you got to turn your volume down. Headphones would really help. Is he wearing headphones? I muted you, but if you're gonna put your mic on, maybe especially gaming headphones, we'll buy some gaming headphones that have a little one of those little microphones.
I have some.
Put them on. Do they work with your phone?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. So Felix will join in and start coming up with awesome ideas while I am piecing together my
Existing idea.
drives me nuts.
I'm gonna go away now.
You logging out?
No, I'm just sitting over here.
Okay. Here, if you squeeze in a bit, I'll try and squeeze over. Am I moving?
No, you're fine. Sorry, my leg
Yeah.
kicked out.
I know. Stop it.
This paper is too big for this.
Okay, so
That's obscenely large.
shortening forum, focal point. Haha. Can I zoom in more? Yo, zoom in on me.
Did you?
That's so funny.
What?
Well, okay, I just zoomed in because you left.
I was trying to find paper.
I know, but now I just zoomed in.
You're fine.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna work on the three fates.
What do you think that Felix would look like when he's like in his 20s?
Like Oliver. He has looked like Oliver every step of his way. Small Oliver.
Short. Yeah, I don't think Oliver didn't turn out as tall as I thought he would be.
Oliver's pretty tall though.
He's my height.
You're pretty tall.
I am not.
Yeah. Yeah, you are too.
Yeah, so I couldn't see anything on mine. Are you using a pen as well? We'll have to. We'll just flip it over, okay?
Pencil. I'm doing watercolor eventually. Maybe pen. I just want to get my sketching first. I'm less confident than you.
Well, no, I often will go straight to paint, but since I'm using a pen, I decided that I would zoom in a bit. So that we can... Let's do this though. I want to try this. Does that work? What's so funny?
Yeah. And anyone joining us, feel free if you want to talk about anything or tell us anything about your.
Or I have muted
awesomeness.
most people, so they'll have to
But
log
let us
their
know.
voice back in. Hello, Deborah. Is your mom? Can you text your mom and ask her if she was online when we read her letter?
Hey, Jess.
Yeah.
So I made a fallout platter.
Yeah, you showed us last. Did you keep working on it, or is that a new one?
This is done.
Oh, cool.
Can't really see it all the way because the corner is covered.
Oh no, it's perfect.
So it's got the Nuka-Cola in there and everything. And then it has matching coasters. So these are the matching coasters.
Oh, I like that. Beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm still working on. There's another one I have to demold. Takes 3 days to cure it because it's ultra-cal.
Oh.
So that cures it super hard.
Oh, that's cool.
So it won't bend or anything.
That's good. Yeah, if you have like a tray, that's awesome.
And then the new bear I worked on is the Portal Bear, so it's kind of based off of you guys in space.
Fun. I love space. I love being in space.
The stuff that's coming out of the portal with the bear is actually UV resin, so I actually sculpture the resin itself.
Oh, cool. That is great fun. Thanks for showing us, Kelly. I'm working with the figure and the fates. Actually, some foreshortening. That is hard because I'm doing 3 figures. Usually I just do 1, but I'm trying to be uncomfortable. I'm trying to be uncomfortable.
Can you get your hand so that we can see better? Can you get your hand? Oh. No, just draw.
Yeah, Amanda, totally. Fun is the like really nice basic one to go with because even drawing is fun. Fun.
That's interesting. Because I feel like as artists, when we're trying to like promote the value of our work, we're drawing is hard.
Right. It actually
like
is.
trying to like exaggerate how difficult drawing is and what I think is I can totally understand that like that would be like an urge to make the value of your work, the perceived value of your work go up by saying it's hard. But I also think what it does is it scares people from being able to try it.
Do
And I
their
think that's
own.
kind of contrary. So I often argue with people, like, it's not that hard, like it's actually kind of fun. Like, what do you do for fun if it's not draw?
Yeah.
So I'm doing some foreshortening and a figure, and I want to put some flow with
Yeah,
with a focal
flow.
point, right?
Right.
And I used to have a comic book when I was a kid, even before Chuck the Superhero.
What?
Yeah.
That's a good
And the character was kind of a post-apocalyptic courier. And so he would run around. I think he had blue skin because, like, if you went outside with the radiation, you had to kind of tattoo your skin blue to stay out of the.
to survive.
Yeah.
Not be irradiated.
Yeah. And actually, that movie we saw, Hardware, was a little bit like kind of in my space. Like it happened once with actually it happened a couple times with Douglas Copeland books that I was like writing a book. And then I bought a Douglas Copeland book and I was like, oh, I think I was writing this book. Like a couple times with Douglas Copeland and I were writing books with the same stories. And I remember my sister called me up. She's like, oh my God, you got to read this Douglas Copeland book because it's your story. I'm like, how is that good news? And so, but it happened a couple times and it happened again, like I was saying with that movie Hardware, which wasn't a good movie, but it was kind of like he was kind of a courier, wasn't he? Like an outside delivery, kind of like if instead of Blade Runner, he was hunting down replicants. The main character is kind of like one of the disposable people that goes outside into the radiation, which actually reminded me a lot of like doing stuff during COVID as well. Reminded me of this comic book that I used to. I can't remember what it was called, or even if I got as far as giving it a name. But there was a lot of running. Like there's a lot of kind of like streaking, not like nude streaking, but like literally just ripping around the neighborhood.
Well, if you're radiated, I feel like, of course, you'd be running. Yeah, Bobby, artists are here to disturb the peace.
Exactly.
All art is political.
Yeah.
That was really good.
And then on that radio show that I'm reading a book about
Cold War radio.
Cold War radio. And they talked about how the role of journalism is to disturb the uncomfortable.
Disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed.
Yeah, where's my book?
It is, I put on the bookshelf. Go there,
Oh,
walk,
put it away.
stop, turn right.
Yeah.
Go, no, stop.
All right.
In the bookshelf right beside you.
You put it away?
Because I knew where it was and I told you where to look. You're a monster.
Because with my autism,
I told you exactly
if
where
you
to
move
look.
my stuff,
I
won't know
like
where it is.
playing hot cold with you. Hot, hotter, hotter, hotter. Colder, colder, colder.
So this is a fantastic book. It's got pictures too. And actually, do you know what I realized today? There's a VOA museum, probably in Washington. I saw it on the internet and I didn't have time to really look at it. You have a number. Is it too soon to show another video? You tell me.
Wait till 8 o'clock, 20 minutes. Do more art.
How many videos do we have though? We have a lot. I overdid it.
No, you're good. I like your video.
Well, let's just look and see. Letter. Okay. I'm kind of looking at that we like when we have the most people,
Oh, that's fair.
but they're gone now. Okay, hit share and I'll show you a video. That depends on how many videos you have for this week. Well, really, if I show all the videos, I can kind of like zone out. It's hard to know when people are watching them. Are they watching earlier on? Are they? Let me show the video.
Fine. Just
Here we go.
It's all fun.
Can I preface this a bit with we started shooting the Lost Hero X videos in the summer, and then we got caught up, and then now, so lately, what was happening lately? If you haven't seen the earlier episodes, Felix was asking, how do we get through the universe? And we use the Warpy drive, and the Warpy drive is managed by the Warpy crystals, and this crystal ripped the universe in half. So here we go. The Lost Hero X,
also
episode 8.
Oh.
Whoa.
Where are we this time? What's going on? Space food? Sure, space food. Nothing like a fresh morning in space with space food, hey?
Hey.
Hey, Dad, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just gonna enhance our travel experience.
Oh no.
I found this warpy crystal in my flight suit. I don't even know where it came from.
Oh, where does it go? Are you going to submit your flight plans?
Computer, submit this flight plan. On my mark, we cast our fate to the wind.
Oh, no.
Sure. What could go wrong?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Dad? Why did you do that?
Turn left at the crossroads, hey?
This is way worse than I thought it would be.
Where's the ship?
Where's everything?
This is really not good.
We broke something.
We broke everything.
We ripped the curtain on the universe.
Do you feel that?
The knowing.
The knowing.
It's so simple.
Oh, no.
It's so simple.
We're doing it wrong. We've always been doing it wrong.
It's so easy. It would be so easy to fix, but nobody would understand.
Some of the people would understand. Half the people would understand. That would be worse than not knowing.
Couldn't we teach them?
We could teach half, but the other half we would never be able to teach. And then that would be a problem.
Dad? How will we be able to go back knowing what we know?
We don't go back. It's too big a risk.
We go back. We're just going to have to keep this to ourselves.
That's going to be on me when you guys are gone.
Sorry, bud. That's on me. On the bright side, I don't even know how to get back.
I don't know.
Silence will be our burden.
Silence will be our burden.
Silence will be our burden.
How did you guys get here?
How did you get here?
Garvin? Oh, for fuck's sake.
Garden?
Wait, Garvin, how did you get here?
No.
What are you eating?
Wrong.
Where did you get that?
Found it.
Garvin, where are we?
Oh, you guys don't know? What was your room you asked there?
What does that mean?
Garvin, how do we get home?
Punch that thing.
What thing?
Oh, whoa. We're back.
Guys, do you remember?
Nope.
I do.
Silence will be our burden.
Silence will be our burden.
Silence will be our.
Nope. I'm gonna tell everybody.
It's so weird we did that.
I think it's fun.
It's fun that we do it. Maybe they'll make more sense in context. Hey, Zach.
Yeah.
What do you think of my weird space movies?
Yeah, that was deep.
They get weirder every time.
It was a fissure.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Broke the universe.
Fissure in the fabric.
It was fantastic.
Thank you for that.
I like how you even got the F word in there.
Would phenomenal count? Would you count phenomenal?
Something like a phenomenon.
Yeah, I can spell it with an F. In my LA class, anyways.
Okay, this might be pushing it, but psychedelic?
That's too far.
Too far? Okay.
Want to hear something crazy?
Always.
Did you ever see MASH?
Ooh, not enough.
Sorry.
So there's this thing that I learned watching MASH. And it was by this guy, Charles Winchester III.
Okay.
And he wanted to buy what I would have called a harmonica. But in the show, he kept saying an harmonica. And I was like, why is he saying an harmonica? And I had a feeling maybe the writers of the show knew something that we didn't know. And so I started listening. I never asked anybody, but I just started listening. And I noticed one day that on the news, if they said a history book, or like if they said a history something, the word history is pronounced a history. But for some reason, harmonica and historical are pronounced an. So you'd say, I'd like to buy an harmonica, or today was an historical event.
Oh.
I don't actually know why that distinction is.
Whoa.
But yeah.
Wait, you're the teacher. Wait, you gotta know.
I'm an art teacher.
Oh, yeah.
And it's actually a thing that most people don't even know about, let alone why.
You're right, because when I'm teaching grammar, it's often like you add an for some H words. And
If they have a hard vowel sound, right? Like honor starts with H, but it sounds like O.
It's an
right?
honor. Right. Oh,
An
okay.
honor. But
I'm listening.
how can I get you to here? Look at, why don't we put the water here?
Just put me
This
in
is
the
how you
other,
paint though.
put
This is
me
how
in
you
the
paint.
other
You
room.
go like this.
Just put me in the
And then
other
you
room.
put the paintbrush right in my face.
I'm painting. How is it possible I put it in your face?
I'm gonna bite it the next
How
time.
did we paint next to each other for 12 years? How did we do this?
It's been an honor.
It's been an honor.
How often does my hand get in your face?
I don't know.
I think it's just, I do believe it's that you like the closeness, but it's like, sometimes it's like super crazy intrusive how close your needle, you just.
I don't
It's like
have
you
a
lift it.
needle. I have a paintbrush.
I'd be one of those prima donna like actors that
Yeah.
like, you got in my eye line.
Totally would. Smoosh to the edge here. But I persist.
Do you feel like I smushed you in? Do you think that's true?
My page is coming off the table.
But I'm not talking about your work. I'm talking about how you fling the brush up.
Okay, I probably do have a weird thing where I'm trying to flick water off or something.
Yeah.
It's like
Sure.
I'm agreeing.
Right.
After thinking about it.
What was that buzz?
My phone.
What was it, the buzz though?
I don't know. I'm painting.
What? Maybe it's important.
If you just buzz me, I'm gonna look in a second.
Can I see your phone?
I can't move my fingers right now. That's the issue. I'm holding down my paper.
Was it my phone or your phone?
It's my phone. Just put it on the floor. I can't take it right now. I told you.
Does that work?
Sure. I think that's the thing with me with watercolor. It's like when I'm doing something, it's super intensive, and then I can't even like my body is. I can't do anything else.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why maybe I don't like indulge so much in painting because sometimes I'm like, I know I'm obnoxious.
You're not obnoxious.
I know this about.
I wasn't saying you're obnoxious.
I am. I'm saying I know I can be like a prima donna also.
I don't think you're a prima donna.
I can't let go. The paper is here. Everything's stressful.
I also, around this time, had this idea that I wanted to shoot, because I used to shoot Super 8, and I wanted to shoot a super pointless video, like with no beginning, middle, or end. And it was just like a kid running, like ripping, like just run, ripping. And it kind of reminded me of when I saw The Sandlot, of that scene where the dog's chasing him and he's just like ripping.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
Hello, Neil.
The girl in the
Here's some engagement. Neil, why don't you join us?
the girl in the back lost her legs, or maybe she's one of them. She's like all molded together.
Yeah, maybe.
It happens sometimes.
We do need to talk more, I think. Who's going to take the reins? I want to know. Neil, join us.
My brother is moving to Edmonton this year. Should I go to U of A so I can be close to my nephew? Oh, that's fun.
Who wrote that?
Neil.
Painted something fat.
Oh, you will join, Neil. You could join us as a puppet.
Don't worry, Mom. I will share you the link.
Oh, yeah. Did we also send it to David Pasco?
It's kind of like you don't have to do the StreamYard thing, huh? You can just do the YouTube.
Oh, because I sent her the StreamYard. Is she worried
Oh, and then she was like, she did crying face. She's like, I don't know how to do it. Mom, I can show you how to do it on the weekend if you're interested. And you can sit and do your cool crochet animals and make art with us if you would like.
Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening to me. Magnifico. I also need fun foam. Oh, tell you what, if you join us tonight, you know,
PJ Katie's farm. PJ Neely's farm. That's funny. We'll get you fun foam.
Yeah. Will we ever?
Oh, we'll give you fun foam.
Would you do like live fun foam with us? That would be fun.
Did I just do it again?
Like, I love you so much, and I like the attention you're giving me right now. I'm just a little afraid of getting stabbed in the eye by your paintbrush.
At least I don't have a needle today.
You're like this. You just bend over.
I was
It's like
trying.
you're doing ballet.
I
in
was
your face.
trying not to get water on the keyboard. I was like, Rich's eye, fine. Keyboard, not.
I do
fine.
not like this joke. That is not a joke I like. Because when I lose an eye, then I will.
Then you will be dependent on me forever, and I will have to be your nurse and take care of you and love you.
You don't need to torment me to be my wife. I love you so much without the tormenting.
Just bugging you also. I'm so sorry.
Sort of.
That got kind of weird.
I did.
I'm sorry. It's okay. I'm sorry, I'm weird.
Sure, everybody's jealous.
That was like a little bit like, what was that
I
show?
wish Jesse would torment me.
With the hammer in the foot?
Jesus Christ Superstar? Sorry, what were you talking about?
That's so funny.
What?
The hammer in the foot. That is a really good.
What is the
question.
story with the hammer in the foot?
It's not as nice as the story of Jesus Christ.
Oh, are you thinking of
yeah,
Stephen King?
Yeah.
Misery.
Misery. Actually, the name gives it away that it's not very nice. Sorry.
No, okay. The table shook, and I thought it was the camera. It's just the table.
This is the stinky paper.
Oh, it stinks?
Mm-hmm.
For a second there, I thought you were saying it just wasn't functioning the way you wanted it to. I had a storybook that reminds me of this painting when I was a kid, and it was like there were short vignette stories, and one of them was about a space traveler, and another one was about a kid that lost his toy. And I had such anxiety about like kids losing toys and stuff. I think the toy might have been a spaceman. But it's funny that there's like probably like a million books that we read as kids that are like so untraceable because they were just really kind of like worldly insignificant.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder where that book ended up. I think it was my sister. My sister had a lot of books, and I wasn't allowed to read her books for some reason.
It's really sad.
I know. So, like, if I had a sick day or something, I would go and read her books.
I like that. That would be the bad like thing you do.
And play with her board games.
Oh, I am gonna read your books.
100%.
Like other people would be getting into like horrible trouble, and porridge too, just reading cute books.
But I'm trying to remember. Like one of the stories was this kid that that lost his toy. And I think it had something to do with the space travel or something. I don't know. That wasn't really a story, was it? That was just me talking. It was like me talking without purpose.
I still like hearing you talk.
So did the literally thousands of people watching the
literally.
podcast. So it turns out we're getting about 15,000 views a week. We don't really know what that means because it might be just that our content was in front of 15,000 people. It might be like 8 people watched it. But it's interesting that we're getting lots of views in terms of the Facebook. And then like Cam was asking last week, are we thinking of like ditching the Facebook and using a different broadcast format? And I would say we're going to broadcast wherever we can. But one of the things that I think really matters is that we want people to join us on YouTube eventually, so we can consider moving away from Facebook. I don't have anything against Facebook, by the way. Facebook is how I launched Gorilla House, so I needed Facebook for Gorilla House. Facebook is how we saved the gallery. Hi, Anne Christine. Are you going to join us?
Hi, Anne Christine. It's so nice to see you.
Let's just do some visiting. There's Zach, and this would be Theo, and that's me. And this is, oh, did Kelly get put up in the corner? Nobody puts baby in the corner. Is there anybody at the bottom here?
You can corner me. I'm gonna go get some fresh air.
Nice.
F for fresh air.
Here,
Fresh air.
perhaps you'd like to borrow this informative brochure called "The Truth About Marijuana." Would you like me to read it to you?
We came home from the teachers' convention and we looked in our bag of stuff and someone had stashed in an informative journal of the truth about marijuana.
I didn't mean to imply that I thought you weren't getting fresh air, by the way.
No, did they think you needed it?
Do I look like I need it? Probably.
Probably.
Look, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my answer to that is I am not pleasant to be around on drugs. How do I know? Let's just say an educated guess. The kids always say at school when you're having some downtime, things like, "Mr. Teru, have you ever tried drugs?" And it's a total trick question because no matter what you answer, you lose all your power.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I generally will explain to them without answering that if I say I have, then I lose all the power to say don't do this. Oh, you tried it, why can't I? If I say I haven't, then I lose all my street credibility of knowledge. So it doesn't really matter whether I have or not. I also explained to them that the drugs that they might be experimenting with are different drugs than when I was young. But because I was a problematic child, I didn't like to be told what to do when I was a kid. And so when my teachers told me to sit, I would stand. If my teachers told me to stand, I would sit. And when my friends wanted to get high, I ended up going to drink a entire quart of skim milk.
Ooh, skim milk even.
It was skim milk, yeah. I'll show you.
Not even fat. I just want straight
And I
stuff.
remember once when I was a young man, I wasn't old enough to drink, but I was close to old enough to drink. We were dropping a friend off at the airport, and all my friends were ordering drinks at the airport, and I didn't want to drink that night. And so the waitress had looked at me, and she's like, "Would you like a drink?" I was like, "No, I'm okay." And then she was like, kind of doing the drink pressure on me. She's like, "What? Your friends are all drinking." She said, "Don't you? Aren't you going to give in to peer pressure?" She asked me first, she's like, "Would you like a drink?" And I'm like, "No, I'm okay." And then she asked the next guy, he's like, "Would you like a drink?" And he's like, "Yeah." And the next guy is like, "Would you like a drink?" "Yeah." And then she looked at me, she's like, "Aren't you going to give in to peer pressure?" And I was like, "I don't, these guys aren't my peers." And it wasn't funny that I dropped the zinger on them. It was funny how like offended, like I'm looking back and I remember it was funny how offended I was that she'd implied that my friends were my peers. And
you're like, "Oh no."
That's a burn.
That's a good burn.
These aren't my peers. But it's also true that you never get sucked into stuff you wouldn't want to do by your peers. You get sucked into stuff you wouldn't want to do when you're in over your head. So like, if your favorite band showed up and invited you to come up and party, and so like, who's your favorite band, Zach?
Band. Quick. Favorite band.
Musicians, like, let's say D12 showed up. Would you hang out with those guys?
I'd hang with those guys for sure. Yeah.
They're all like, "Hey Zach, you want to come shoot heroin?" You're like, I guess, because your mentors and the people you believe in. Whereas like, if it was just like, let's say if you're in grade 12 and you're hanging out with grade 10s and they're dictating what you do, it'd be a distinct lack of character, right? But like, if you're in grade 10, you're hanging out with your older cousins and stuff, then you have a lot less control over where you are and where you go and stuff, right? So I often say it's not peer pressures that's a problem. It's when you're in over your head, and that's actually kind of one of the troubles. Is it's like when you're a cool kid, you might be 15 hanging out with a bunch of 18-year-olds, but you're getting into 18-year-old problems, and you just don't have that powerful voice to say no. Unless you're the Beeb.
Moral of the stories: have no peers. Is that?
Can I tell you what the moral I think is?
Yeah.
I don't really care what people do, like live your best life. I care that people do what's right for them. So, if somebody wants to make a bad decision, I'm usually in there to help them, like Like, I'm just that way. That I remember I worked for this person that was running for conservative MLA, and I'm a communist, but I helped her out. I helped her run because I really believe in helping people with their dreams. So, and people were like shocked that I helped her run and that she won. Why would you? Because the rich, you're a communist. Why are you helping the conservatives? But I just will help people with their dreams, right? And also tend to like look at people like based on people. But what was my point? I had a point. Um, yeah, I can't stand it when somebody's doing something that's outside of their own character, right? So I would rather see somebody do a bad thing because they wanted to,
Because it lines up
than do
with
a
them.
good thing because their friends push them into it. And that's a particularly weird weakness on my part. I'm just admitting to my weirdness. I'm not bragging. But I would probably be more accommodating to helping somebody do something they shouldn't do if it was in their own.
If it was authentic.
If it was authentic, yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually have that quality with a lot of things that I would rather be with an authentic jerk than a false nice person, right? So I have a tendency to gravitate towards people that are earnest, even if they're like earnestly bad. Like my superpower is I love everybody, but sometimes I end up with people whose values are completely different than mine as friends, and it's because they're authentic. And I find that actually one of the things I like about the school I'm at is each of the teachers has their own authentic passion. And even if their passion was the opposite, even if their passion was in conflict with mine, like somebody who hates art and wants to see art ruined, if they're passionate about it, I'm usually in there to help them because I believe in people's passions, not in their messages. I feel like their messages are up to them and whoever might be inspired by them. So it's sometimes a little chaotic to try and follow my logic. Like, why would you help this person? They're totally against you. And actually, I'm kind of actually often help people that don't like me. Like they might be actively campaigning against me, and I'll still get in there and help them because they authentically don't like me. It's weird, eh?
You're like interested in the authenticity and
the truth.
That's the truth.
It's the truth that inspires me.
That's very cool.
And then I married a pathological liar.
Just for sheer curiosity. Hey?
Yeah.
Pathological liar.
Did that come out as unflattering?
No, I think that's really funny.
Okay.
It just shows your complexity as a human.
Yeah. But Jess isn't really a pathological liar. I shouldn't joke about that. But she does make up weird lies about things that don't matter. Like, let's say she was eating a peanut butter sandwich. She might tell me she was eating a jelly sandwich, and I'd be like, why would you? Why not just tell me what you're actually eating?
And I'll be like, I don't even know.
I don't even know why I said that. And you told me that when you met. You're like, I tell lies, and they don't even need to make sense.
I just say things, and then sometimes I'm like, why did I just say that?
Yeah. Do you ever do that, Zach? Well, Zach's not here.
Yeah, I exaggerate lots.
On purpose?
The stories need a little flavor, so I'll take it too far often.
Here's a funny thing.
Hyperbolic.
I don't.
Yeah. It's poetic. It's poetic.
I'll often people think I'm long-winded. I will often leave out parts of stories, and if I'm changing a story from the truth, so long as it still sort of suits the truth, I'll tell the story. I'll omit parts or change parts if I can earnestly like shorten it. Not even by much. I'll shorten it sometimes by complexity or by length. But I wouldn't ever like change a story to make it to me exaggerating on purpose would feel like dishonest, right? So sometimes if I'm exaggerating, it's not because I want to like make the story better. It's because I'm just trying to get to the heart of it quicker.
Right. And we're creatives. Like you could say it real boring, or you could say it like dramatically. Yeah.
But sometimes I'll just take parts out to make it shorter. Often also as a teacher, I'll take parts out if I'm like trying to protect somebody's identity or something. And, I know that in the long run, it sometimes comes off as not being very honest, right?
Mm.
So especially if I have a very literal listener, like somebody who's more literal than figurative, right? They might be like listening to my story and trying to drill through for truth, and it's like, well, it is a true story, but what I've done is I've shortened it substantially because I just didn't want to get into those details.
You could say they were fracking for truth.
Let's say, for example, in my story, yes. Let's say, for an example, in my story, it was some kind of like Russian car that most people didn't know. I might change it to a Volkswagen, you know, just to show the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I used on my brushes this week, but they're all like stiff, like plastic. I wonder if it was those glow in the dark things. All right, we're experimenting now. Jess and I gave up sugar.
Fools.
And so one day I was at school. This isn't too long ago, about a year after we gave up sugar. And one of my kids left an orange on the table in the classroom. And I was starving that day. It was like last day before the break, and I was starving. And so I saw this orange on the table. I'm not going to steal a kid's orange, right? But by the end of the day, everybody had gone home, and I was super low energy, needing to drive home. And it was right before a 2-week break. So I'm like, there's 0% chance that kid's coming back for that orange because the bus has left like 20 minutes ago. And I thought, well, rather than letting the food go to waste, I'll just eat this orange. So I eat this orange, and I did feel a little funny. I don't know if it's true that maybe kids are injecting drugs into oranges, and that's how they like pass them around. But I ate this orange that wasn't mine. And then I was driving back to Calgary, and I started feeling really funky. And I picked Jess up, and I remember all of a sudden I was talking really fast, and I was like tripping balls. And I was getting like vapor trails in the cars beside me, like whoa, whoa, whoa. And then all of a sudden, like, what was I saying? It was just like, I don't know, but for the last 10 minutes, you've been talking really fast. And then I realized I couldn't remember from her school in Hawkwood to about as we passed the university, just a blank out, and I had no idea what I was talking about. I didn't know what I was trying to say, and also there was vapor trails on the cars next to me. So I don't know. You're supposed to pull over in those moments. Like, what do you do?
I'm not sure.
Did I just say on the Facebook that I was driving impaired?
No, all you had was
Not
orange.
intentionally.
All you had was orange.
Right. But now, when I see oranges at school and I don't know who owned them, I do not eat them. All right, let me tell you some of the features this has, or I want it to have. Is that for me?
Yeah.
You love me so much.
I do.
See, here's what happened. Here's the blood orange. Because I've modified where the camera. Okay, so there's a thing I can use. It's kind of like a joystick where I can make the camera, and where you'd anticipate the camera to be would be about here, but I moved it. I moved the focal point of this lens. So to try and guess where I'm supposed to put it is like upside down and backwards and askew. Every time I've ever peeled an orange in my life, I've eaten half and then reached for the other half and then realized that I ate the first half while I was peeling the orange. So peel an orange, eat half the orange, go to finish the other half and realize it's gone already. It's trauma. Anyways, here's what happened. Jess peeled this orange, pulled out slightly less than half, gave me the small half, and I thought, well, that's fair because she usually gives me the big half. I ate my small half, she ate her small half, and then she saved me 2 pieces. Gave them to me. What would I do with this girl? She's not going to take care of herself if I don't force her to have one of the 2 pieces. Let's do like on Peter Pan. Snap your fingers if you want Jessie to eat the last piece of orange.
There's this cute.
Come on, snap your fingers.
There's this cute little. That's
no,
it.
Snap. Yeah, here you go. Okay, have the orange. It is my left hand. I do want to keep those fingers.
There's a cute little short animation.
Yeah.
Of a cute little
Did I make
couple of friends.
Yeah.
And they're eating dumplings. And it's like they kind of share. Oh, here's a dumpling. And then they make sure everyone has a dumpling. And then the last one cuts the dumpling in half with their chopsticks and gives the other half to the friend. And it's just like that. It's that like the sharing is very sweet.
What the hell is that? What is that?
Conover.
Oh!
What the hell is that?
I wondered.
The sunlight dances on the balcony as I wait for thee to come home. I fall for my words, yeah, my mind's a mess when you're in that dress. Glad you're home. We stay.
That's so nice. Willis Conover.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Foreshortening.
Isn't that nice? Are you waiting for that to dry?
Yeah.
You want to cheat?
No.
You can just put paper down. No, like if you're in speed mode.
It's not that bad, is it?
Did you put salt on?
No. It's just a nice segment.
You got the stinky. Even this stinks. Even the cloth. We got this ancient paper. It smells like eggs when it gets wet. Okay.
Stinky. Oops, sorry.
We saw this awesome Elvis film yesterday, and I find as we learn more and more about jazz, especially like the New Orleans jazz, I had such a we hadn't learned about the different kinds of New Orleans jazz and Kansas City jazz when we watched that last, right?
Right.
So it had such a deeper. The movie had such a deeper resonance with me, to because I wasn't really thinking of even if that is like being jazz music.
Right.
Right. I was thinking of it as
right. In the thing, he even says he sings folk, which is really interesting.
Yeah, right. Like what kind of folks? Out of space?
Saucy folk. Oh yeah, well, that's what the guy actually says.
What did he say?
He said folk. What kind? Where are you from? Implying that it was not like anything he'd heard before. Right?
Yeah. All right. So I wanted this painting to have foreshortening.
Mm-hmm.
Foreshortening, and I wanted it to have flow. Does it have some flow?
There's really good flow.
And I wanted to have a focal point, which would be the Fee
This
master.
guy coming forward is
Yeah. And then I also wanted it to have focus. Okay, so see with the focus how my characters in the back are getting bleedier.
Yeah.
I might even bleed out the faces a bit. A little bit. Bleedier. And then so I got some he's in focus. And
focal point.
Yeah.
I love a good focal point.
It's 8:18. Isn't that nice? And my camera is charged because I started plugging it in again.
So can I show you something? I am working on the 3 fates.
Yeah, let's move you over to here. Yeah. And then move me out of here.
And I'm also going to work on a piece of fiber art.
Where's Felix today?
Felix! That is for Felix.
This was supposed to be.
So right now it's not very much in focus, but with my outline, it is. No, I mean like my paint, because I did really soft.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to start bringing in the fine liner and do ink and watercolor piece.
Here, isn't that nice?
And they're going to carry
you know what I'm going to do?
the string around.
I'm going to take this knife, which is Felix's knife. And is that just one piece or 2?
That's good.
You have so much confidence. I'm always afraid I'm going to lose a paper doing this.
You just use that one separate.
It is kind of nice sometimes, actually, if you take 2 pieces, because then you get really thick paper. All right, can we talk about which paintings we can kind of find homes for? This would be the auction part. Hey, Zach.
Yes. Yeah.
We don't currently have like a really screaming engaged audience, but we will. And then when we do, you can sell your paintings again. We'll just connect you right with the buyer to do an auction.
I'm interested.
Right now, I'm giving paintings away in exchange for letters. Can you pass me those?
Yeah.
So if you write me a letter to our
Yep.
P.O. Box 13035, Beltline RPO, Calgary, Alberta, T2R1C6. What I have available is Willis Conover. Be worth $1 million one day. I have Roux from the Isle of Roux.
And we haven't really even
By the way,
introduced him yet.
this is black light reactive and it glows in the dark. Roux from the Isle of Roux. I have this random street fella. And this also glows in the dark.
I like the feather in his cap.
Yeah, I'll put that in your cap. And this is me just killing some paint off. I had some paint on my canvas and I wasn't really thinking too hard. So I got these paintings. But here's what happens. If you send me a letter, I'll send it painted for free. Well, for the cost of a stamp, really.
I screenshot your PO Box video
PO
today.
Box 13035, Beltline, RPO, Calgary, Alberta, T2R1C6.
All right, heads up, letters coming.
That is so fun.
All right. So I had a list of things that really mattered this week. They were form, figure, flow. Are we live broadcasting on the Instagram?
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? Okay. Cheap viewers on streambo.com remove. Yes. I will remove you. Who's this?
Every day we get at least one of those.
Yeah. Hide. How do we get rid of that?
You keep putting it up on the big.
Hide. Okay.
It's fine.
What is it though?
Remember we used to have the option to remove them?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to them. Like, you're not really hurting anything. It's not rude, but it's kind of rude.
Simone, we have not got your letter yet, but it might be.
We didn't actually have time to check it today.
We went yesterday.
That's okay. Simone, I was talking earlier.
There's no late anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly. And I was learning that lesson too. Because I was messaging you to because I didn't know if I had dropped the ball on getting you that lovely the Venus painting. And then I was messaging you and you're like, what? Don't worry. I sent a mail. And then I was like, oh, that's right. Now you guys send us mail and then we get your address and then we can send you mail back. So I apologize if I confused things. I'm not used to being able to relax and like take life as it comes. And I just really appreciate you for your patience with me.
What should I do?
I'm not joking. Should I put this person's leg in or do I just leave it like ephemeral? Because the three fates, maybe they're amorphous. Like they just flow into each other.
I don't know.
I'm not joking.
Like,
I don't know why I said that so seriously.
I know. Why do you want me to answer this for you? Is a better question.
Does it? I guess you're right. It doesn't matter. I guess because like
Valentine's. Oh my god! We're gonna get Valentine in the mail.
That is so nice.
A couple of my kids were working on signatures today, and one of them was like talking about too much free time now. No,
not too much free time. It's just I'm not used to not having to be anxious every second of the day. Actually, can I show you what I did instead of being anxious? Well, in top of being anxious.
Oh, but can I finish my story?
Yeah, please.
You have matching felt markers? Where do you keep these hidden from me?
In my pencil case.
Isn't that nice? Yeah, so one of the kids was talking about his signature and kept talking about making it sexy. And I was like, please stop saying that. Like, I'm asking you, please. I'm going to ask you one more time. Please stop saying that, please.
Look, I wrote a killing prayer. And then I sewed it. I think I'll just be more, what is that? More progressive.
Killing prayer. Remind me that I have done the best I could. I did the best I could. Help me let go. My work is in your hands. Keep the fires constant. Keep the heat true. Keep the wares safe. I am blessed to create. I am blessed to learn. I am blessed to try again. Fire, 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 burning in my heart. It's a puppet show. Are you putting this on the kiln?
Yeah, because I thought the
Show some backbone, woman.
Yeah, I thought the bone represented the earth and the fire represented the heat.
You're my bubble.
Fiber art.
Okay, so my themes for today were focus.
Also, look how nice Simone. We'll just keep the love flowing. You are so magical. Focus, sorry.
No, I'm not telling you to focus. I'm asking. I'm gonna work on focus and focal point and flow and form. Jesse, how did you get this way?
How much time you got?
All the time. Is Zach? What's happening to Zach? Add to studio.
Hi.
Damn.
I'm back.
Yay.
Zach?
Yeah.
You know, I don't say this very often, but every now and then I'm struck by how handsome you are.
Oh, come on. You're going to make me blush.
Yeah. I mostly just think of you as a smart, good friend, but sometimes I'm struck by your beauty.
The feeling's mutual, Rich.
Thanks. You don't have to say that.
You took it so nicely.
I know.
Learn from this. Say thank you.
Well, okay. So one of my friends asked these. So, oh, look at that. There's a good-looking guy.
Oh, look at that.
So one of my friends asked these funny, like provocative questions, gets people thinking. And one of the questions was, "What was your guilty pleasure?" And this is a particularly guilty pleasure I have. Are you ready? I fell in love with this beautiful woman. Look at the camera. And I think my the thing that worked for me is I fell in love with her mind and not her beauty and not her body, though she does have quite a nice body. And so actually, and I'm very shy. Actually, you wouldn't know it, but if I look, I peek. She never sees me looking at her, so I sometimes peek at her shapely Rubenesque posterior, and
Features.
yeah. So it's funny because a friend of mine asked me what my guilty pleasure is, and it's totally when I objectify my wife, because 99% of the time I'm just thinking my best friend is so interesting and maybe a little clingy. Give me a kiss.
I'm clingy.
Especially when I'm drawing. But maybe a little clingy, but like my best friend and just intellectually stimulating and the best person in the world for me to talk to. But every time now and then when she's not peeking, she'll like, I don't want to say, let's just say lean over to pick something up, and I'm like hubba 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 hubba. And so that's my guilty pleasures. I sneak peeks of my wife, objectifying her.
I like that.
But I think for the most part, like what made me special in her heart is I earnestly like her for her mind.
Yeah, it's true.
Who's this in the top? Is that Theo? Do I have enough of Theo in?
Kelly's there.
Is that Kelly in the top? Or did I just moved somebody into the top?
Kelly's in the top, then Theo. That's a nice Felix ceiling tile.
Is Felix in?
No, why don't you put, there, ceiling tile, Felix.
What are you talking about? Where's Felix?
Right there, isn't that Felix? The ceiling, oh, ceiling tile, that's a sketch mark. You're like talking about how intellectually stimulating.
Keep me on my toes.
How is your hand in Felix's ceiling?
Okay.
It was the day, okay?
Focus, focal point, figure,
Funny.
Funny. I had a neat moment the other day with one of the kids because my kids that are good at art particularly hate being told what to do, and I get that. But one of them was struggling with, I think it's a picture of Ariana Grande, and you know that thing where, can you look, where you're drawing a face right here? Here's some eyes, right? And then the nose is kind of an under, and then like the mouth is kind of like, and then they're trying to figure out the chin.
Oh yeah.
And she kind of had like this thing going on where she was trying to make
Right.
it work. And I was like, okay, like I know you already know what you're doing, but would it be okay if I kind of show you something to get that working? And it's as simple as this. Zoom in anymore. Give me your thickest spine. So is this your thick one?
This one, maybe this one.
Yeah. So when you want to do that, you draw like a folded over piece of paper.
They're never very good, are they?
Just see my folded over piece of paper?
Yeah.
And that way you can put the mouth and the nose and the eyes and the ear.
Folded over piece of paper.
Yeah, it's just
That's an easy way to show it.
Yeah.
You're so good. You're not only good at drawing, but you're also good at explaining things.
That is just my that's my glitch. I like to try and put things into words. I like to try and word the unwordable.
Like you said, it also helps you understand things too. So it's like that's pretty great. For all of our benefit.
Yeah. So I discovered also today, we were listening to the French Dispatch, and there was a French song from a French pop star who turned out to be not particularly interesting. As you know, like you're like, oh, I love this song. Let's check out some more albums. And the rest of them were like, kind of like Disney stuff. Like, I don't know what happened there. Kind of like, maybe she's like the French Annette Funicello, like kind of like ended up doing some stuff and then really specialized in like kids programming or something. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying like, but we did discover a bunch of French movies, I think, today that were kind of like.
Yeah, what was one? Was Alpha House or something? Alpha.
Yeah.
We'll look at that.
Flow.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm trying to get the string now. They're holding the string.
But so when somebody was asking like too much spare time, we don't actually have very much spare time because we have been shooting a lot of space movies. But one thing I've noticed is like I really love my Wednesday nights right now. Like I'm really excited by what we're doing with the Isle of Roux, and it kind of really suits that the Freedom and the Voice of America book that I'm reading right now. Where it's like we're really, I feel like maybe not right now, but as we all lock into silos after the world ends, I think the Isle of Roux will be a nice kind of break from, scavenging for leftover
Yeah,
food
we need to
cans
get
and
a
things.
shortwave radio.
Oh yeah, ham radio.
Ham radio. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Just in case.
You know what? Like while we're doing this, we could totally be broadcasting onto the ham radio. And it wouldn't change much. It would just put another mic in front of us, The only thing I wonder is like, do you get like brain cancer from ham radios, or is it like, or have they got that worked out? Because I would often have kids that were like, the cell phone next to their head all day. And you're like, when you read the instructions for the cell phone, it says hold 6 inches away from your head. Who actually talks on the phone like this? Nobody.
Some people when they're yelling at
Yeah,
it.
and then I'm kind of like wondering when we talk about like, oh, is this dangerous? Like, is my phone radioactive? I'm like, well, what do you think it's plugged into? Like, how does it work? Like, what kind of magic do you think makes your voice travel across the world, if not radiation? And then I remember, I don't know, this is 10 years ago now. I used to have this media class where the kids could basically pick any activity or topic, and as long as they used the design cycle, they could do basically anything so long as they used the design cycle. And this one kid that was really not political and kind of like maybe somebody that was more like inclined to have stuff rather than make decisions based on the better good of people, decided to do this really huge campaign about keeping the electrical cell tower out of the park. So she's like, well, I want a campaign for like not having this cell phone tower near our house. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. Like, and she said it near the park. So I was like, wow, that's really cool. You picked this park and you're going to defend this park. And I was like, but where are you going to put it other than, you know, in this park? And she's like, just not near my house. Like basically
not
in
my
my backyard.
backyard.
And so like the illusion went from like, wow, I'm really surprised that you have so much passion for, you know, the
park.
safety of people's like brains from potential hazards of cell towers. And then I realized specifically, like she was happy for that cell tower to be anywhere in the city, but near her house.
Like quite literally not in my
Literally, yeah.
Look, Simone said her grandfather used to broadcast in Esperanto on the ham radio.
And where is that radio now? Simone, do you want to be involved with some broadcasting with us?
What do you think of my
Simone, do you know anything about the Voice of America? What do I think of your work? I love it. I just love everything about it. I think it needs some yellow.
I know it does need some pop.
What's nice about the paints that we're using, like this one, for example, this yellow, is they have a lot of coverage, a lot of depth.
Yeah, it's more like gouache.
A lot of times you can't really make yellow happen on top of blue, but this one has so much coverage that the yellow really will, as long as it's wet, overpower whatever the last color was.
That's fun.
Isn't that nice?
Isn't that nice? Okay, I don't like this.
Why don't you like it?
This. Look at the lines. Are they quirky in a good way? Or?
I love it. Don't you dare change it.
I don't like how skinny.
Okay, change it. Sorry for taking part.
No, you're right. I ask you your opinion, and then I should listen.
You crap all over it.
I'll keep going, and I will add more.
Actually, same kid one time that I was just telling you about.
I listened to it in West Germany. That's where he ended up. Wow.
You listen to the VOA? Can we get together and talk? Because I'm so... Here, look at my book. I just discovered this through recognizing Willis Conover's voice. Oh, wait. Is that Simone? Where's my Willis Conover painting? All right. If we're talking about the same thing, Simone, I'm mailing you my Willis Conover Voice of America.
Or was her grandfather going from West Germany?
Doesn't matter. Okay. If you know who Willis Conover is, you get this painting. If you don't, then you have to find out who he is, and then you can have the painting. That kind of makes sense, actually, because why would you want the painting if you didn't even know who he was? Casey Kasem, right, because you would have to be 150 to have actually listened to Willis Conover live, because he was from like way, way back. He was broadcasting to the Vietnam War, and I think he might have been broadcasting to World War II. For some reason, I imagined that they would have repeated those stories, right? But your grandfather would have listened to Willis Conover. And Casey Kasem, is that the case that Casey Kasem was broadcasting on VOA? Because I'm getting too excited. I don't know who that is. That's fine.
That's fine.
You'll do some reading. But Casey Kasem, so I knew Casey Kasem from, the regular radio station. Willis Conover was almost exclusively on the VOA. And so he's this giant force around the world, but the Americans didn't know who he was. Because the funny thing is, they wanted to kind of win over the Europeans, especially people from behind the Iron Curtain. And but they also didn't want to pervert the Americans' minds by letting them listen to too much jazz. So it's funny that they used jazz to fight the Russians. They used jazz to fight the Germans. But then they also
not in my backyard.
Wow, that was a circle, hey?
Whoa.
Right. It's 8:40. And I think we've been generally going till about 9:36. One time we went later, 9:38. I got excited about something. I can't believe I wrecked all my brushes.
Because you're so used to gouache, and then you just...
I didn't wash them.
Oh.
This is a funny brush. Hello? Actually, I also wondered if Theo might know something about Willis Conover.
That's so fun.
because Theo's actually, I often ask Theo about what he's listening to. He's like, in the same way the kids say to me, like, they get so frustrated. I go, what are you listening to? They're like, music. I go, yeah, but what music you listen to? They're like, music. And if I persist, they will say they're listening to Spotify, their playlist. But when I ask Theo what he's listening to, his answer is always the radio.
That's right.
Theo, do you know anything about the Voice of America?
Well, I know of it. I can tell you a little bit of esoteric information about it. Do you know where the main transmitter was for Voice of America?
Let me just answer that by stalling. And I'm not going to look it up, but I do want to tell you, while I was doing a little bit of research today, I saw that there is a museum for the Voice of America. And I would imagine wherever that museum is where they broadcast from. And, the transmitter, was it in West Germany?
Nope.
Was it in your backyard?
Nope. It was in America.
Washington?
Nope.
Where was it?
It was outside of a little town called Dixon in California.
That makes so much sense.
Why would you know about Dixon?
I just know California.
Oh, hippies. Yeah. Tell me about Dixon in California. Does it have a happy ending?
Well, the mother of my children, my ex-wife, Linda, her father was a career Navy man, and he was a diesel mechanic while he was in the Navy. The Voice of America, the main worldwide broadcasting thing, this was the short wave stuff, eh?
Yeah.
He was responsible. He was one of the guys responsible for running all of the generators that powered the signal. Wow. That was his last tour of duty in the Navy. And that's why Linda and her brothers and sisters and Dad were in Dixon.
That's cool. Also, I like hearing your cat.
Yeah, that's Ellie. She's looking for what is it? Oh yes, Kitty Crack. Did you guys get my letter?
Yeah.
My envelope?
Were you not online when
Did you see?
I might have been, but no, I did. I missed that. Oh, let's see.
We
book of stuff. Okay, good show. There you go. Yep. That's it. That's mail art.
Yeah.
You are now part of the mail art community.
I love this.
You know
Anchorage, Alaska.
Is if you switch that to the other camera.
Oh yeah.
Your hands out of my face.
Get your hands out of my face.
So books of stuff are how I deal with all of the mail art that I get from other artists, as well as some of my own. And so each book is basically an original. And I just passed 900. What one's that?
That's incredible. Which number is this?
It'll be on the back page.
883.
Oh, there you go.
We were
thinking of reading. Did you like the envelope?
That's incredible. We love the envelope, and we love that you have a stamp with your face on it.
Yes, I have, yes, and also I have some of my stamps on the other side, don't I?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. That's one of my first day issues. 2008 was when that run of stamps were first made. That was made by Anna Banana. International Art Post was the series called. And that was 2008 that one got printed. Yeah.
Look, there's a whole letter we have to read later.
Oh yeah, and there's a letter.
We got so excited.
We sent you a letter, but we're going to send you another one.
We sent you a letter because we typed it up and thank you, but we're going to send you.
Oh dear. Someone really needs Kitty Crack. I'm going to go give her Kitty Crack before she dies.
Yeah.
Drowns me out. Okay, Ellie, I'm coming.
Yeah, this is so beautiful. I'm so excited to start doing this. It's like a book in a book. That was the other thing I really liked about the VO8, like the book there, is the idea of how poetry, art, journalism were like
They were using
so like you got ostracized from the community if you were a poet, an artist, anything, because you had this freedom and you were trying to express yourself. And this idea of art and any kind of expression, how powerful it is. I think that's the thing is like
that they used it to fight the Russians and the Germans. Yeah.
To use your art. Oh, Wendy Tuber.
I don't know if I finished my story that
Please keep going.
when
Sorry.
but when I was looking it up today, I was doing a little bit of research and I realized that there's a museum somewhere that shows you can go look at the VOA. I think it's their old broadcast museum, and they have like histories and things, which I thought was really cool. And so I guess maybe like if they had an office, maybe the office was kind of near Washington, maybe. But then what Theo was saying that they broadcasted from California probably had to do with.
I do have a needle now. I apologize. I'll go straight up rather than to my right.
I want to go back and see because like I'm painting right here.
I know, and then it goes right by your eyeball.
You put Theo's letter right in front of my painting, and I want to go back and look at my expression on my face. Sing tonight, Simone.
Simone asked if I was singing.
What are you going to sing?
Well, now I'm thinking because I was actually going to stick with the letter, but now I want to do like a jazz standard because we're talking
something
about
like a Louis Armstrong.
Yeah, 100%. I think I have it in my hand.
How can I get you to move that needle less towards my face?
Less towards your face.
I wonder if even people at home can see the danger I'm in, or if they just think I'm being a big baby. Boy.
Rich is in constant danger. There, that's a better angle.
Okay. I like that drawing you're working on now.
Which one, me?
Yes, yours. I can't see Jess's. If Jess is Jess is playing with dangerous. Oh, there you go. Oh my goodness.
I did the 3 fates.
All right.
I'm still going to add more yellow.
Which goddess is this one representing?
The 3 fates. They have the string of our life in their hands.
There we go. Sweet. Okay, that needs to dry. That needs to dry. This needs a bit of a
What color pants would you wear with a striped shirt? Red?
Yeah, blue or red. Red.
Don't poke the husband. Don't even poke the
I'm going
husband.
back. I'm doing a different angle.
A different stitch?
Yeah, different angle. My shoulder will get a different way.
Right.
Let's do this one. Okay.
Do you know how when I come home and I put my jacket down and then you look and go, oh, that's where our jackets go. So you put your jacket on top of my jacket.
And then you can't see your jacket anymore?
No, but do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. So my the guy in my class, he's wired like me. He's on the spectrum in the same way I am.
Mm-hmm.
Came in, sees my coats are on my chair. He's sitting in my other chair, like he's got a little private desk to himself. And he got mad when I had to use it for something. He got mad that I was using his desk. A little bit entitled, but he comes in, he sees my jacket on my chair, and he puts his jacket on top of my chair and goes sits in my other chair, which is his own. And I don't know why it bothered me, but it kind of did. Like I kind of like just want nothing touching my jacket. Probably because I won't be able to find it if I need my keys or something. And I said, hey, would you mind just moving your jacket somewhere? And he's just like, well, I saw your jacket on the chair and thought that's where I should put my jacket. And I was like, I bet you don't like your food touching. And he's like, and gets up and moves his jacket because he realized, like, okay, this is a serious thing. His jacket touching my jacket might be irrational, but it's just like the food touching. So it was pretty sweet how like deeply he understood that this was a value of mine that I wanted nothing touching my jacket. He immediately rectified it.
It's nice when people are wired like you that you don't have to go and explain so much.
Like, because when you get through to them, they're like, "Oh, there's no way around it."
Yeah, I can't.
This is like in food section. That means I have to stand up, even though I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
I do find this about all humans. I think sometimes, like, it's our lack of understanding of values. But when you don't see why something's important to somebody else, you allow yourself to ignore their needs. But when you start to see the weight of what their needs are, why their needs are different than your needs, right?
And what values they hold,
right?
And how they're different than yours.
Right. So that's something we talk to Felix all the time about. Like, well, you know, Jesse's values are she loves cooking for you, but when she's done cooking, she wants you to run to the table and eat the food while it's warm. And his value is like, I want to get to the next level of this video game. And so it's just a matter of like working out the values, where your values are. What are you adding? Oh, sniffing.
It was no, not sniffing. It was like a little bit of a feedback loop. So I just muted it so it stopped. Is that okay?
Yeah.
It wasn't a judgment. It was like a. I heard
No,
a little.
I think if I'm sniffing too.
No, it wasn't about that. It was about a feedback loop.
So currently, my favorite brush is the brush that came with the makeup kit that I just threw out. So kind of like I was looking at it going, well, this makeup kit's kind of been around for a while, and so maybe it's time to get rid of it. We used to draw flowers on Felix's face with it when he was a baby, but maybe it's like we're not done. But it came with 2 brushes, and I really like the stiffness and the point of these brushes.
Yeah, because it's like made to make sure it keeps the point and can work on a face. So that's perfect.
Sometimes I'm really blown away if I end up with like a cheap brush that shouldn't work well, and it does work well. I'm a little like my universe gets a little like shook. Like, why am I buying these expensive brushes if this one works so well?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had one of those moments where I borrowed a kid's brush. I was like, "Ooh, I really like this. Where'd you get this?" And I immediately think to myself, "Please don't say dollar store." And they always say dollar store. I'm just like, what universe do I live in where I'm spending sometimes 10, 20, 30 bucks for a paintbrush, and you can buy a better brush for $1.76 at the Looney store? Like, what is it that I think I'm buying for so much money? And it's really just, is it a name brand, or is it some kind of brainwashing thing that the art store did to me? Why do I got to spend so much money on this paintbrush? Want to know one of the tips I give the kids a lot of the times?
Yeah.
When you're working small like this, you here, let me put the thing on. So it's easy for me to get in here and paint, but I'm using the end of my brush, and then the other side of my brush I have less control over. So when I'm going to want to paint this side, I have less control over that brush. So what you can do, it seems like pure genius, is flip it around, and then I can use again the tip of my brush to put the paint down. Get way more control. Did you tell the kids that?
Yeah, especially and when we're drawing circles, also because your hand has a natural flow.
Yeah.
So I say move your hand around, and it will. I move the paper.
Sure. I think you expressed yourself well. Again, for the second time today, I'm having a flashback to this children's book that had the spaceman in it. I think one of the narratives was also a kid got lost in the mall. Theo?
Yeah, yes.
You're a parent, right?
I am.
So, did you ever have the thing where the dad thing usually, where you lost one of your kids at the shopping mall?
Did I ever lose my kids in a shopping mall?
Yeah.
No.
That is so good.
I lost Oliver once.
I had children throw absolutely amazing temper tantrums in shopping malls.
What was your solution for that?
I just picked them up and took them outside and waited until they, ran out of breath.
Mm.
And then I just said, that wasn't, the greatest thing in the world. But, that's what I would do anytime. I just pick them up and, okay, let's go.
Want to know something crazy?
Well, sure. I like knowing crazy things.
You would think my kids being related to me would be genetically prone to such behavior.
No, I wouldn't actually.
Oh, well, I'm a little prone to that kind of behavior, and I'm an
Yeah.
But my kids, for some reason, that kind of like scream fest urge skipped all my kids. I got more than one, and I don't think I've ever dealt with a store tantrum.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I mean, it didn't happen maybe more than once or twice for either of them.
Yeah.
They quickly figured that, this isn't working.
Yeah.
Dad's just taken me outside, and I'm not going to get what I wanted.
Do you by any chance remember what they wanted?
Oh, it might have been candy. It might have been a drink. I don't know. It was something that wasn't on the table at that time,
Okay.
and it wasn't going to happen. I do have a question for Jess.
Yeah.
The painting that you showed me, I immediately, I want to put lines on that. And that made me think, did Thora and her dad Cody, did they get that painting that we did a collaboration with?
Yeah, they got
Okay, good.
She came, I think it was the last Rumble, and they came right after her Christmas concert, and they came right after, and I gave it to them.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
You know what, though? I do remember it wasn't a tantrum. There were tears one time, and this is one of the most scarring things that ever happened to me. Can I tell you a story about like one of those moments where there might have been like a disagreement on finances when we were in the store?
Yes.
Yeah. So I took Robin to Vancouver. I think I had around $300 to get there and back. And on our way out, the plane crashed. So that was the first part of the story.
Not fun.
We did an actual plane crash, full crash landing with WestJet. And then strangely enough, when we got to Vancouver, we got on a city bus and the bus shut down. It started going up the hill and it stopped going up the hill. So it might have been like, like if I was listening to the signs, maybe I shouldn't have been on this trip. But we got to Vancouver and I started to take the bus. We're going to see my aunt, and then we wanted to go to the Vancouver Aquarium. And not only did the plane lose its landing wheel when we took off, but the bus we got on also shut down while we're riding it. And the next day, I think I had around $30. And so a lot of my money went into getting to the Vancouver Aquarium from Coquitlam on the bus. And you have to pay by zone. So I was saving enough money to get into the aquarium, but I also needed enough money to get home on the bus, which meant we kind of had to go partially without lunch. When we're at the aquarium, Robin had decided that she had some there were some beluga whale earrings she needed. Because actually she wanted to give them to Teresa, who loved beluga whales. So Teresa was back in Calgary. Rob and I were on a holiday in Vancouver. She saw these beluga whale earrings and thought the world was going to end if she didn't get these earrings. She didn't have a tantrum, but she was quite sad and she couldn't stop herself from singing. And crying. And so I ended up, I think I took pictures of her crying because it was really beautiful and sweet in front of the what are those, jellyfish. And so I had a stack of photos from Vancouver that I didn't look at ever because they were so heartbreaking, these pictures of Robin crying. And she wasn't being a brat, she wasn't being misbehaved. She just knew that we weren't coming back to this aquarium, and it was her once in a lifetime chance to buy these earrings. And the problem was I didn't have enough money. I had enough money to get her something, or to get her into the aquarium. I had enough money for her to eat lunch. I wasn't sure if there was enough money for me to eat lunch. And on top of that, there definitely wasn't enough money for me to eat lunch or for her to get back on the bus. Even if I didn't eat lunch, I couldn't afford to get her the earrings. So I told her no, not because I was being a jerk, but just because I didn't have the money to buy them. And she was really, really wounded. And later on, like, I talked to her as an adult, and she's like, well, Dad, it wasn't so much the earrings as that I knew I couldn't come back. It was my only chance to get these earrings. And we weren't ever coming back. And I was really like, I wanted these earrings to give to Teresa, which is super sweet. But around 10 or 15 years later, I ended up back at the Vancouver Aquarium and decided to get Robin these earrings, beluga whale earrings. And they still had the exact same earrings. Only was I ever crushed to see that they were $5, right? So the earrings that I broke Robin's heart with and couldn't afford to buy because I needed to take the bus home with her were $5. It was a $5 make it or break it meal for us. And that's how close my finances were, that I was able to get her to Vancouver. I was able to get her on the SkyTrain from Coquitlam, but I couldn't afford to get her a pair of $5 earrings to, and I don't even know if I even looked. I just knew I couldn't afford them. So when I finally found them and bought them, I was at the aquarium. I looked at them. I saw the price was only $5. I thought about all this, pain she went through because she really just deeply, deeply, deeply wanted them. And I remember I sat down and I wept because I'd gone through this period of time when like $5 was like such a big deal that I couldn't make those decisions. It wasn't a matter of I decided not to get her the earrings, as I couldn't get the $5 together. Zach's in Vancouver right now. I wonder if he goes to the aquarium very often.
I should iron this, but I don't do those.
Hmm?
Proactive motions. Said I should have ironed it.
You thought of it.
I did. I thought of it many times.
You should have ironed it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you meant you should iron it.
No, I should have.
It's 9:03. What do you think of this pen?
Oh, it's beautiful.
What do I do with it, though?
It's really magical. Like, I love the freeness. Oh, freedom. She's free.
Keith Anderson likes our video. Keith, are you with us? I got to paint some. Whoa, who did that? That looks like something I'd do. Who did it?
Last night.
Look quiet, eh?
It's kind of nice. We kind of have this natural like flow.
Just sitting together.
Did you play all of your videos?
I have one funny one. I'll play it so we can put it up. So this is another concept we have. We really haven't put to fruition, but we'd like to do interviews that are basically called "How did you get this way?"
That's what I mean. I'm salvaging them.
Okay, do something funny, quick. If you could see What I see.
I love you got to other.
To the clacker. Tell me, Jessica, how did you get like this?
Well, Rich, how much time you got? So, Rich, how'd you get this way?
I think my mom, who read a lot, read a bunch of books about not paying too much attention to kids because it will make them weird. And my mom, being very literal, really went to the. And I love my mom. My mom's the best. You've met my mom. My mom went all out on like not playing into my shenanigans. And I think the shenanigans got weirder and weirder. Next question. Also, I had a really hard time sitting still. And so I think to avoid eye contact, and interactions with humans, I spent a lot of time drawing. Even when I was in class verbalizing my experience, I always drew, so it was a way to keep a level of detachment. And I think actually just realized this year I had this really great kid, but he's wired like I am, and he went way out of his way to get thrown out of class. It was like, I was like, I'm not even playing into this. Like, you are obviously only here at this moment. And the reason he's trying to get thrown out of class is because he had such a great experience like 20 minutes earlier. He was just overwhelmed. And I realized, the thing I realized just recently is I had this like grudge because I got thrown out of class so much. I probably spent maybe a third of my school in the hallway. And I'm not exaggerating, like a lot of time in the hallway. But I just realized this year dealing with this kid, I totally did that. Like I would be like, okay, I learned something. I'm feeling fine. I gotta get out of here. And then I'd like do something, usually drawing, because that was a way to get kicked out of class, and then I could go in the hallway and draw some more. That's probably. Oh, and I used to talk to myself in my head, sometimes even while I was talking out loud. And so there's a lot of voices.
So how does that affect you as you teach?
Oh, I completely forget that there's anybody but me, and I expect the kids to love what I love. And I pull out a textbook without any preparation. I just read it to them, and if they don't like it, they can read it themselves.
Wait, was that sarcasm?
I'm working on it.
No, do you think sarcasm is something?
No, I think if anything, my gift as a person with young people is I remember very well what it was like to be young, and I have a very vivid memory of most of my life. So the hypocrisy of it all hits me very hard. And if anything, I'm a little bit judgy of people that don't really remember their lives well, because they're the ones that find themselves like perplexed why the kids don't want to learn what they want to learn or teach, right?
I don't think you're part of the hypocrisy. I don't think it's just about being young. I think it's about.
No, I mean, we're all hypocrites.
Yeah.
And adults forget what it's like to be a kid.
Yeah.
And I have maintained. Sure. I didn't like have a Peter Pan syndrome where I refused to grow up. I really do have a soup of memories and no sense of time. So I have the same teenage angst that all young people have.
You can feel it, yeah. Yeah. Could that be like thought about as like empathy, like to the extreme?
Well, because I'm not wired in the normal.
Yeah.
I've used empathy as my compass.
Yeah.
I have a highly over-designed sense of empathy, because that's how I know what people want, because syntax doesn't really help me the way most people do. Like, go get me that cup. I'm like, oh, many things could be cups, and I'm reaching for it, and I'm sensing your anger. I'm like, that's not the right cup. And actually, that's probably with you and I'm like, can't you tell my rage? That's the wrong wrench. And then so like I like to think I keep most of the rage in, but inside I'm like percolating, like, what do you mean? What is a wrench at this point? Yeah. What's a wrench?
Like, I meant which wrench.
Which screwdriver has the cross?
Crisscross applesauce is the.
This is taking.
Wait, stop it. Robertson is ours, and so that means it's Phillips.
Phillips, yeah.
And then Flathead is just Flathead.
Yeah, flathead is anybody that uses a Phillips, really. You're a flathead.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. I think I quite like this lighting. It almost looks like one of those handsome filters. It's not a filter.
You're handsome.
It's not because I'm handsome. It's that lamp.
I actually like that light that you have coming beneath you. It's like you're in.
That's to make the green screen work.
Oh, interesting.
You see how smart I am? Okay, I have a button. Oh, can you do the clacking? I'll do my own clacking. I'm not even syncing sound right now, in case you've ever wondered what those are for. It didn't go off. Remote. Oh.
You're so cute.
So I was the sacrificial lamb. I went first with the Rich. How did you get this way? I think next week we'll shoot the Jesse. How did you get this way?
Sure.
That'll be way more complex. I'm sorry I'm so mean to you. You know I love you. Right?
You're not mean at all. You're funny.
Well, it's supposed to be funny, but sometimes it's not. Rich, how did you get this way? I had shorter hair back then.
Yeah, was that in the summer? I think we both had shorter hair.
Yeah. I had a moment there was like, oh, I don't hate how I look. And it was also summer and also good lighting.
You did good lighting today. It was summer. It wasn't -40 outside.
Rich is looking relatively rough compared to last summer for sure.
Because it's -40. Who can exist in these temperatures? Not me. I was trying to find my lapis.
You know what's weird is without the auction,
migraine.
it's hard to find homes for these paintings.
It's not hard.
It's a little hard. So I got a stack of them. I got this.
We're waiting. So
I should have an art show of the Isle of Roux.
We're waiting that they find the right homes, and people are all writing us mail.
Yeah.
We're going to send them
So
all.
these are some things that I can put in the mail for you if you send us some. We call it fan mail. What we really mean is you write us a letter, and we'll write you some. These are good.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, I'm good at art.
Well, that made me really happy to hear.
Okay.
I like when you're positive to yourself.
We got about 15 minutes left. What time is it in Vancouver, Zach?
8, a little after 8, quarter after 8.
Oh, it's earlier there.
That's nice.
What time do you want to go till tonight?
You guys are in the future.
Yeah, right? 100%. I'm traveling.
I'm good to go. I'm painting.
We'll probably go till about 9:36 seems to be our number.
Nice.
Didn't set up my phone to join the stream, but I texted a pic of what I drew while watching. Oh, let's take a look.
Amanda.
Did you text it to 403-629-7424? 403-629. Oh my God. Let's just do. Where's my hand? Da, da, da.
Is that a new one?
That's another one, yeah.
Cool. Oh, I love. Oh my gosh. That is fun. Little SpongeBob.
Sorry, Zach. Let's get you back on.
You guys got quiet. You guys got quiet on me.
That's really beautiful. Yeah, I like those landscapes.
Form, focus, fun, fingers. Is that me? Is that you, Zach? You got a phone call, Zach? Oh, God, this is. I keep wanting to drink this one.
I like that the negative space and the positive space interplay on that one with the. It looks like a star.
That sun, a lot of fun. Sun.
Guess what? Guess what the substrate is?
Rich asked if it was one of his old paintings.
No, those are in the vault. It's gypsum board.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's costless, upcycle. And it's just really, really hard paper.
That's cool.
What is it?
Gypsum board.
Hmm.
I'm working on. Oh, I got this going. I got this. Got a little ADD on.
That's awesome. You made one like that of Lightning McQueen for Felix's room when he was little. That's so fun. It's like very similar composition, actually.
Also, one of my kids was drawing that today. Almost exactly. Where is that?
I put it in the kitchen.
Oh, I'm just looking for somewhere to put my tea bag. This is funny. I teach in a school that the kids are super nice, maybe even a little square.
Like weird when you.
When I first got there, one of the kids was like yelling, "That guy teabagged me," and I was about to turn around and like, "Hey man, that's not okay." And I did turn around before I spoke, and he was walking towards the garbage with a tea bag in his hand. And he went. What he meant was that one of his friends had thrown a tea bag at him. But I was going to tell him it was inappropriate, and then I would have probably had to explain why it was inappropriate, and then he would have been like, "Why are you telling me about this?" So it was kind of like an awkward moment where I stalled just quickly enough that I didn't stick my foot in my mouth.
That's so good.
And then I was like talking it over with one of the other teachers, and he assured me that that was a kid that probably didn't know why he shouldn't have said that. And that's how naive I can be.
I think it's nice when you take them at face value, though.
I remember one time I was like, one of the teachers I worked with was so mad because she smelled pot. And the kids should not be smoking pot, without question. But
Crazy
just the way she went off, like, and I know what pot smells like. It's like, because you grew up in the mean streets of University of Calgary.
I feel like teachers often get stuck in junior high mode.
Not tasty. Tasty beverage. Some sugar-free, 0-calorie Zivia
tea.
Raspberry sweetened black tea. I'm feeling extra edgy because I had 2 tonight. It is so tasty, though. Zach, what should I paint?
Something far out.
Okay. Theo?
With the F.
I was feeling kind of self-conscious about having my puppets reference the F word by saying effed. And then Felix's grandpa, who provides the voice for Winston, did not think it was too edgy. So I felt empowered by his fearlessness to not overthink the F dialogue. Did you just put Kelly in?
No.
Kelly's main screen on this one. Did I put Kelly in?
Yeah.
No, I think Zach left.
Oh, Zach left and you got bumped in.
Yep.
Cool. I'm glad you're in. I just didn't remember putting you in. I would be zooming in on Kelly. That music is probably not the best thing.
Oh, it's in the background.
Can you turn it off?
Or mute.
Yeah, sorry. It's just that we'll get a copyright notice, and they're so aggressive.
Oh, it's off now.
The
It was on my tablet.
The more views we get, I think, the more.
Yeah, as we're getting like 15, 16,000 views per week. There's 5 of us right now. My theory is I'm trying to guess. The numbers they give us are a little sketchy, but it looks like we're being exposed to around 16,000 people a week, 5,000 interactions, and 5 people online with our StreamYard, but there's also Twitch and Instagram. So it's calculating all the stuff. But with those numbers, we're getting pounded by about, I'd say almost in an hour, I'll get 3 emails saying we've breached copyright. We need to apply for, and they're all hustles,
like scams.
But then when we do get an authentic copyright ding, I'm not taking them seriously because we're getting so pounded by the artificial copyright dings.
Yeah, it's just like made up names, accounts that are just like.
Yeah, but we have had a couple authentic ones, and I had to protest. So it takes time. You have to look up the contract we have when we purchase our music from Artlist, and I think maybe the breaches I've had for Artlist might be because, like, if you buy an ad for a commercial, you're not obligated to put it in the credits like you would at a movie. But sometimes I think I could probably do a better job of crediting the music we bought off Artlist. But it is like you pay for the service and then you don't have to. But it might be nice if we do. But then, like, if there is any music playing, then it congests things. I could be wrong, by the way.
I usually just listen to the music in the background usually, but
What's that?
I usually listen to the music in the background, but it's really low.
Do you feel like it's less copyright if it's in the background?
No, it's white noise to me. I have lots of things to mold here, so I have to pre-paint them first.
What festivals and shows and things are you doing?
Which festivals I'm going to?
Or markets or whatever. What are you on to these days?
I'm doing the Calgary Expo in April.
Oh, nice.
And then I have a cat show in April as well. Beginning of April.
Cat show?
Yeah, Calgary Cat Show.
What do they do?
I was invited actually. You seem to like the diversity of stuff.
Yeah. What do the cat show do?
They show cats. You can actually take your household cat there. It's at Southland Behavior Center.
Are you taking your cat to the cat show?
No, they're not. They're too skittish. They won't like it.
What are you taking to the cat show?
I'm taking all the resin pieces, what are cat based.
So do they have to be cats at the cat show?
No, they can be.
Are you showing teddy bears at the cat show?
Yep. Yeah, I'm showing teddy bears as well. And then they have like household pets category, so you can bring your household cat. If it's a kitten or an adult, they show it, and then they win ribbons. It's kind of interesting, and you can adopt cats there. Last time they got snake sickness. They're the hairless cats.
How many cats do you have, Kelly?
2, Lily and Luna.
And all those health troubles you're having with your cat last year got resolved?
My friend's cat passed away in October of last year, so she only has 1 cat.
Cats that you used to have.
And then my cats are doing fine. One had an infection. She's fine now. So they
What was
just
your friend's
outside the
cat?
door. Pardon me?
What was your friend's cat's name?
What was what?
What was your friend's cat's name?
Taz.
What?
Taz. His name was Taz.
Taz?
Taz, like T-A-Z.
Indian Devil?
Yeah. He's named after the devil, I think. Taz from Looney Tunes. Sadly, he passed away from severe asthma.
what, sorry?
So he was only 4. But she still has Missy, so Missy's 8.
We were seriously thinking about getting a cat last year, and then we realized we don't really own a lot of valuable things, but the one thing we do own that's valuable, well, a couple of things we own that are valuable are carpets. We invested in carpets for some reason. Maybe because we don't make carpets.
Beautiful carpets.
Yeah, real nice carpets.
Persian rugs.
We'll maybe feature them in one of the Rumbles or one of the Isle of Roux one day. But yeah, while we're thinking about getting a cat, Jess pointed out, well, really, if the only thing we've really invested in is records and carpets, cats probably won't damage our records. But especially at the time, I think when we're thinking about getting a cat was kind of during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a little more time at home by ourselves, and we kind of imagined like, well, what if we were at home with a cat, and then when we went to the Rumble House to broadcast, because we're doing a lot of broadcasting back then, what if we took the cat with us to the Rumble House? And so we considered getting a cat for a hot minute.
We also thought about having a studio cat.
Yeah, we wanted a cat to kill the mice that were kind of a constant and frequent problem at the Rumble House. Leo doesn't have mice because he's got cats. How many cats do you got, Leo?
I only have my one very elderly kitty right now. So I'd like to have more cats, but I don't want to freak her out by bringing in more new cats. So
when you're elderly,
passes or I pass. It's just her. I have a question for you in regards to music that you can play. Have you ever gone to freemusicarchive.org? Everything there is out of copyright. And there's some good stuff. But it's spending the time searching.
What would be the good stuff? Like what is it?
Well, you're gonna find literally every genre there. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you download it?
Yep. Yeah, you can download the files. They'll all be MP3s, but more than sufficient for broadcast.
So what we have is we have a Artlist account where we pay for the rights to use the music.
Yeah.
We tend to use those for the videos that we produce.
Yeah.
I do believe there was a time when I'd considered, what if we ended up just like downloading 10 or 15 Artlist songs and just played it in the background so we had some music. But it's not like listening to, what we want to listen to, right? Like when I'm doing music, some nights I want to play Jimi Hendrix, right? So
yep.
They might have something bearable on Artlist that I can use for background music in one of my videos, but it's not like listening to, Voodoo Child or something. So now what appeals to me, what you're saying is, if I understand you correctly, maybe it's like older stuff that's kind of...
Oh, it is. It's everything that's gone out of copyright. So you're getting very old, or it's stuff that people just put on there with no intent of they've relinquished their copyright to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. But again, it comes back to like, when we were listening to music at the Rumble House, I think a lot of it came down to like, kind of like when you're painting, you're expressing yourself. And when you're listening to music, you're expressing your taste. And so being kind of limited to what's free kind of like gives a false impression of what we would be listening to if we had the freedom to not be concerned about the copyright. So I totally dig what you're saying. I think my apprehension is really I'm like a small child that if I can't have the music I want when I want it, we just tend to put it off.
Well, that's what I said. It involves, taking the time to do the research to see what's there and deciding whether you like it or not.
Does some of the music, would it be kind of the same music they'd have on like that Fallout 4 soundtrack where there's like 1920 songs that are kind of like...
There's going to be old stuff. Like I say, it's stuff that's gone out of copyright for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And that's why it's the freemusic.org, or freemusicarchive.org. Yeah.
I sort of remember there was a time, especially with TV, where you would know what year a song became available because you would suddenly hear it in all the sitcoms. Like, I think I know what year Born to Be Wild came up free for grabs on copyright, because I remember it ended up in about 5 sitcoms that winter, and it must just hit the date and then move forward into like, how about it?
One time it was
50 years.
50 years, but then Dickhead of Sonny and Cher, he was a politician, got it moved to 70 years, but that applied only to the music that was created now, so to speak, at the time. It now had a 70-year copyright. The stuff that was 50 is still 50, so that's how it ran out. And even Mickey Mouse now, the original Mickey Mouse has now finally reached that 70-year mark and is no longer protected by the rabid lawyers at Disney Corp.
I don't know. As an artist, I kind of have like both sides of it. That I do sort of feel like, you should be entitled to your copyright. If you're still alive, or if your corporation's still alive, if it's still your revenue coming out of like, Mickey Mouse.
Well, that's the whole point of copyright, is to actually have some time with it.
Yeah.
But extending it, getting it extended, and odds are the artist is already dead that created it, and it's now some corporation that owns the copyright.
Well, that's my question.
Places like Disney, so.
That's the question I had about that is, let's say a song was written in the 1950s or 1920s, whatever, and then the artist's copyright's gone, but then they go and they put it on a movie soundtrack. Does then that movie soundtrack, they purchased the rights somehow, and then now they own it? Do you know what I mean?
Nope. No, they just would have paid for it, and if they made a specific, they bought the rights to the music and then they recorded their own version of it, they'd have copyright on that version,
right?
But not the original.
Interesting, because I know that, like, for instance, there's some songs that I quite like by, let's say, Harry Belafonte, but then it got used in, like, let's say, the Banana Boat song. Let's say the song was originally recorded in the 60s, but then it ended up on a Warner Brothers album for say, like, Beetlejuice in the 80s. Will that get triggered as like the Beetlejuice soundtrack? You know what I mean? Like,
well, the Beetlejuice contract, would be, they would have, if assuming that they got the permission from the copyright holder, then their new version would be copyrighted, but the old stuff wouldn't.
Yeah.
So it's and again, it's what you do with it that really matters.
So we're for us, it's never really a matter. We're not worried about getting sued. It's that when the infringement happens, it ends up being time that I have to spend unblocking. And then when we do get blocked, we lose all that momentum, right? So we're trying to reach people. And then what happens is if we get blocked, I can get unblocked. But by the time I get unblocked, we've kind of lost that week's reach to get new listeners and involved. So it is even with the artless stuff that we purchase, it's super frustrating if I get a copyright notice, because it slows us down in terms of like trying to get connected with people. Now, that said, what we're doing now doesn't need to be connected, right? Like, Jess and I can just decide we're going to broadcast from our living room, and it doesn't matter if anybody watches. That's kind of the model we're working with right now. Is it's for fun. But I will tell you, if we stay up late till 2 a.m. trying to get a family shot of the Isle of Roux, it is more fun when we know people are seeing it than if it's just going into some pile of YouTube videos that we've made that nobody's seen. So I guess it's a bit of vanity that we want to have viewers, but we don't have the thing where like, oh, sure, link or we're gonna die, because we won't. We're just doing it for fun now, and maybe we're not doing it for fun. Maybe it's not. But the premise we're doing is supposed to be about fun, and it's not supposed to matter if people share the link or not.
Yes.
What is it? Microphone, Theo.
And there we go. Oh, microphones. I thought that's what you were doing. Yeah. How big is that?
How big is the paper?
Yeah.
What, 8.5 by 11? Would you like it?
That's too big. Too big. Like I said, if you do some small stuff, if it's half page or smaller, I'd love it because it will go into future books of stuff.
I'm gonna crop it down to fit your
8.5 by 5.5.
8.5 by 5.5. I can do that. It might even be a better image if I crop it. Do you have one of these paint sets? Look at this. There's so much joy in this. Just stick the knife in. Oh, that's 2 pages for sure. Jess is so like wild when she comes to using paper. She'll even cut 2 pages out at once. Not me though.
Yeah, the paint blocks are nice.
What did you say?
The blocks, like the
paint blocks are nice. Yeah. Most of my stuff now is just held on one side. So yeah, but like that's what is it? That's the French one, isn't it?
Yeah, arches.
Yeah, arches. And I can buy other stuff that's not arches for about 1/3 of the cost. So there's no question about what I'm buying.
That is fair.
And it's still, for me, it's still the same. Yeah, 140-pound cold press, 140-pound hot press, great. But yeah. Anyway, folks, I'm feeling slightly peckish. I think I'm going to go have some dinner. So I will bid you adieu, and hopefully I will see you next week.
Have a great night, Theo.
Adieu to you and you and you.
Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao.
Was it that time?
Yeah, it's 9:38.
Oh, yeah, it's perfect time.
Perfect.
Hi.
Hi, Kelly. Nice to see you.
See you next
week. And we'll leave off inspired by Wallace Conover. We lived our little drama. We kissed in a field of white, and stars fell on Alabama last night. I can't forget the glamour. Your eyes held a tender light, and stars fell on Alabama last night. I never planned in my imagination a situation so heavenly, a fairyland where no one else could enter, and in the center, just you and me, dear. My heart beat like a hammer, my arms wrapped around you tight, and stars fell on Alabama last night. We lived our little drama. We kissed in a field of white, and stars fell on Alabama, baby, last night.
You practicing?
No,
Did you warm up?
I just love that song.
You killed it.
Yeah.
Killed it. Kill the dead.